What's going on, everybody? Today is the first edition of Sidewalljedi Answers Reddit. This is where I take my favorite Reddit post of the day and respond. In this post on Stick Doctor, feel on release. Hi, I have an STX Hammer 900 and I really love it. I have 2 shooting strings and have been using my stringing setup for months. I just tightened my shooters a little bit and now I cannot feel the ball sort of bounce off the shooters when I release it. This is really bothering me. So does anyone know how I could adjust my shooters so that I can feel a little bounce off the shooting strings when I am throwing? So this is an interesting one because I think of this, and if he has to tighten his shooters, that makes me think that he wanted to change something. He did change his shooters and it didn't feel the same way coming out. Just so we're all on the same page here, understand that shooting strings create structure in the pocket. What I mean by structure is it'll change the way that the mesh will move when the ball is coming out of the pocket. Depending on how you set up your shooters, sometimes you can feel the ball going over them, sometimes you can't. Apparently this young man really likes to feel the ball coming off of his shooters, but he wasn't happy with the way the stick was throwing. So how do we fix that? How do we give him the feel that he wants and have the stick perform the way he wants? Now, in this circumstance, the young man did not tell us exactly what his shooting string setup is. What I'm going to say, though, is typically if you have like a nylon in one shooter or 2 shooters, everything above the bottom shooter usually doesn't have a tremendous amount of impact upon release, because by the time the ball gets past the bottom shooter, the first shooter it comes in contact with as the ball is rolling out of the pocket, the ball's already on its way out. And those shooters are for, what I mentioned, structured, keeping the mesh from moving as much. If you take those top shooters away, you take away the nylon, or you take away a shooter and a nylon and you leave the bottom shooter where it is, you're going to have generally the same release, but how the ball rolls off of that bottom shooter to where it rolls off the plastic, and yes, 99 times out of 100, the ball is coming off the plastic whether you feel it or not. Let's take out, let's see what happens. Let's take out whatever shooters, 1, 2, or otherwise, are above the bottom shooter. Let's take them completely out of the equation. So there's only 1 shooter in the pocket, and hopefully that's within the 4-inch legal zone. If you take out everything above it, that would be a great way, and that would be my recommendation of how to change the stick so that you feel the ball coming out of it, but you keep the shooters in the stick. Catch you next time on Sidewalljedi Does Reddit.